Did you have like an aha moment, Matt? And did you have an I mean, was it hard for you to kind of shed the more ironic layer? Like, were you ever like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to do this more kind of I don't even know if you call it spiritual, but it's like spiritual adjacent.
I would call it spiritual, and I would say that. I mean, I don't think I've lost my sense of humor, but yes, I've definitely
I don't mean
layers of like ironic distancing. And I would say that I didn't feel worried about doing that because those existed always as a defense mechanism against the basic insecurity I had about why I was saying things and what I believed, because I was always just sort of skating over the top of my belief system. Like, I believe things and I felt deeply their sense, but like beyond, I have like that Libra passion for justice, but then there's a bunch of stuff.
Me too.
And then there's a bunch of unexamined premises, and then there's the conscious politics. And I think in all ways, I was insecure about the foundations for my beliefs. And so I always needed to have some sort of screen of irony to protect myself from ever being found out for that. But now I feel much more grounded in my beliefs. Like, I feel completely at peace that I understand the world as well as I'm ever going to, just from a macro sense, and that I could sort of build out from that. And as such, I don't feel the need to have that cover. I feel like I could be more direct.
I think that sense of insecurity, I think is something that a lot of people on the left these days feel kind of on some level, because it's such a new thing. Like, we don't come from like we almost had like a chop. Like, the tradition kind of was like stopped or mostly killed for like a long time, and then it just kind of came back. So there isn't the ties to the older people that we had, except for you, Katie, because you went to But I think a lot of people feel that. Like, I think what do you think people? I don't want to say misunderstand, but like that new level of understanding that you've accessed. Like, what can other people do to get it? And I'm asking for a friend, obviously.
I mean, the one thing that I pulled from it more than anything is just how engaging in the discourse, like as broadly understood as the political engagement online, because if you have political identity, you reinforce it through some sort of action. Now, for most people, there is very little actual action you can do day to day to affirm political identity. So what it ends up being is affirmed online. And you affirm it online through engagement with these discourses, arguing these questions, why they're actually contributing to an argument, observing the argument, and carrying the argument with you, something to think about. And I have come to the conclusion that these arguments exist to be had, and that it's a substitute for political action, a political praxis that people don't feel that they can participate in. And while I don't know the answer to what specifically to do, I do suspect that for individual people who are caught in this cycle, the only first step towards breaking the paralysis cycle will be to examine the world around them for engagement opportunities, instead of allowing their engagement to be sharpening their ideological perspective in the hothouse of Twitter argumentation, where the stakes are such that you will never get to a real conclusion to any of these arguments, because they exist fully as moral principle questions. They are not practical considerations, and as such, there can never be an answer to them. And seeking it will eventually, I think, destabilize your relationship to reality, because you will get so much intellectual and emotional investment in having these arguments that the discourse will become, for you, reality. And you will decide that the forces arrayed within this fake video game, basically, for fake political people who don't have an actual day-to-day political life to experience, you decide that's reality. And you take the blue pill, basically, and you decide that the Matrix is real life.